Muslims are looking for freedom from hate. There is a little film. Yesterday it was attack in the mosque. Before that it was Congressman Walsh speaking, terrorizing Muslims. And before that it was burning the Quran. So Islamophobia has become a machine. And hate has become a machine. So this reaction Muslims have is very unfortunate. This is not what Prophet would do. Prophet will welcome people who hate him and tortured him. He did not respond. He did not believe in revenge.
Everybody has a right to their expression of their opinion. So if somebody wants to make a movie, I don't have any problem in people expressing their opinions, but everyone should have a right to express their opinions peacefully and without resort. I do feel offended as a Muslim, but my response would be to counter it with correct information and the truth about what the Prophet, peace be upon him, what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, actually stood for. And that would be the way how to engage in a constructive debate on that.
I work with media to ensure that coverage of Islam and Muslims, either in local coverage or international coverage, is fair and accurate. So we counter a lot of biased or inaccurate media when it comes to Islam and Muslims. We work really hard to protect their civil rights. In terms of the film Innocence of Muslims, there's been a lot of different responses to it. A lot of violent responses have been perpetrated by different Muslims around the world in different countries, and at CAIR Chicago, our stance is we don't condone that kind of violence, and we don't think that's a valid response to something like this. Although the film is something that is insulting to the Muslim community at large, it's something that is filled with racism and bigotry, and we feel it's just a tool used to perpetuate fear-mongering and Islamophobia, and just a misunderstanding and a misrepresentation of who Muslims are. And although we abhor that kind of thing, and we are definitely against bigotry and racism, at the same time we don't think that violence is ever the answer. Violence doesn't get you anywhere.
Unfortunately, a part of this growing trend of efforts to really stymie any progress with not just the Muslim community here in the United States, but also any efforts to bridge the different communities, including faiths or across racial lines, or even in a broader sense, any type of difference.
It's just, it shouldn't be such a huge problem to respect all religions and prophets, or all kinds of faiths. And I think that, as at least I can speak for myself, I was raised to do that, to respect all religions and all people. So it is offensive. I'm not going to say it isn't.
As for the ads on the buses, it's unfortunate now. The truth is not what's logical or what's reasonable, it's where the money is. So wherever you find money, wherever you find, because these people are well funded. So however much you can get out of your campaign, that's where the truth lies. And unfortunately, that's why we have to combat them. Because if it were any other time or under any other circumstance, I would like to think that we could just ignore these extremists.
It's for money. It's not for enhancing or improving anyone's life or for any cause. I think it's a very selfish thing to do, and a very disrespectful and unnecessary thing to do.
In regards to the AFDI campaign, I find it rather scary that people are able to put out campaigns like this, because the language used in this particular ad, using language like that makes an environment where coming to a peaceful solution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict becomes more and more difficult. I don't think that's a very responsible way to go.
But what can we do about that is the issue. I think, hate is rising. Good people, Muslims and their neighbors, must also rise to counter that hate. And it is important for us to all look for that better future and realize that hate mongers in America are few and hate mongers in the Muslim world are few.